that's what's more fun for me.
I spent most of my life as an actor.
Okay, so how do we define cool? Is it in that classic Marlon Brando way? An unshakable calm that comes with a confidence of not needing others? Emotional but tough? Well, if that's the case, the coolest actor around at the moment has got to be the one and only Ryan Gosling. And yep, we know he was a Mouseketeer alongside Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake, and yet we still think he's cool. Ryan Gosling, from a tiny mill town in Ontario, Canada, seemed to know fairly early that being an entertainer would be his easy ticket out of the mill. Trouble socialising at school saw his mum homeschool Ryan, all the while encouraging his excess of energy by letting him bust out dance moves at home, and then in auditions, which gets to the Mickey Mouse Club. At all of 16, Ryan was aiming high and relocated by himself to LA, where he pounded the pavement to auditions. He landed work straight away in small TV productions, his blonde, vulnerable charms escalating him to pin-up status in the likes of Young Hercules. His transition to the big screen came with a small role in the football drama Remember the Titans, but it was an offer from director Henry Bean in The Believer that made Ryan finally realise his potential.
I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't. I feel like I'm compelled to do this thing, and I don't know why. And it's odd because I kind of, it puts me in a lot of situations that I hate, and it brings a lot of elements into my life that are very contrary to who I am. But I'm still compelled to do it, which I think it's what keeps me interested in it. You know, I don't understand why.
Well, we do. In The Believer, Ryan played an intelligent Jewish teen that becomes involved with a neo-Nazi group, and he seemed to understand the power of acting for both the actor and the audience. Ryan's grasp of conflicted emotions helped the film pick up the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance. More conflicted teen roles followed in The Slaughter Rule and Murder by Numbers, which had a huge amount of buzz around it because at the time the tabloids were constantly suggesting Ryan was dating his much older co-star, Sandra Bullock, a rumour that both stars denied. Then, of course, his huge mainstream breakout role in The Notebook. Director Nick Cassavetes cast Ryan against type after seeing him in The Believer and knew that the young actor had unexplored depths. Cassavetes and producer Mark Johnson summarised the way the industry was regarding Ryan at the time.
I met Ryan first. And after meeting him, I said I didn't want to make the movie without him in the movie. Ryan's a very pure and serious guy in many respects. He's also a lot of fun, but if he says something, you believe it. And I just thought he was just, sorry Ryan, but weird enough in a certain respect that you would believe that he would know that he could take one look at somebody and know that that was the person for them.
Well, Ryan is an actor I've been hearing about now for about 2 years, and he is the actor other actors talk about. You can't do better than that.
Gosling delivered a charming performance, buoyed by a heartbreaking depression that elevated his status among the wealth of other actors of his generation.
He's fabulous. He's really an amazing actor. Really, really talented, very smart. Really thinks things through and, you know, always has ideas and something to say. It's quite amazing. It's intimidating sometimes. He's so good. You know? You find you're acting with him and then you're over here going, wow, that was great, you know, and then you have to sort of come back into the scene, and he's very talented.
Working with Ryan Gosling, he's pretty unbelievable. He really is. He works very hard. You know, Ryan and Rachel both were out here in South Carolina months before shooting, and Ryan was, you know, learning how to, you know, work on boats and build things. When you come in a supporting role and you see that kind of commitment by the lead actors, they really set the tone for what everybody else.
There really is a huge difference between a feeling of instinctiveness when you're playing a scene and a feeling of a kind of mechanical, technical way of approaching it, which happens too much, I think, but certainly not with Ryan. I mean, it's always like you feel there's an instinctive thing going on, and as well, a lot of feeling.
As far as Ryan was concerned, it was about the story when it came to The Notebook.
Even though it's big, it's a big story. It's a simple kind of love, and it's a simple idea, you know, which I think is nice sometimes, not to complicate things and just to, you know, in order to be interesting. I mean, I think that sometimes just honesty and a simple life and a simple idea of what you want in life is complicated enough and interesting enough.
And to the delight of romantics everywhere, Ryan and Rachel hooked up, came out as a couple when promoting the film, got engaged, split up, got back together, then split up again. Oh my God, it's so Hollywood! Less satisfying than The Notebook was the psychological thriller Stay, where Ryan duked it out with Ewan McGregor, more than holding his own against a real pro. Then with Half Nelson, it was announced to the Oscar-following world that Ryan Gosling was a real contender. He gave a heartbreaking performance as an idealistic and inspirational inner-city teacher with a crack pipe habit that's discovered by one of his troubled students.
Somebody who has lots of potential and talent, but no ambition. And, you know, they're kind of also people that everyone likes, but nobody really respects. And they really get to me, these people, you know. So I was really anxious to play this role because I wanted to try and kind of put a pin in the way that I feel about them.
Ryan didn't win, but that didn't matter. There'll be plenty more award nominations in his future. Next up, he matched wits with every actor's favourite thespian, Anthony Hopkins, in the thriller Fracture, playing an ambitious district attorney. Ryan was singled out by the critics for fully inhabiting a role that most other actors would sleepwalk through.
What's perfectly clear right off the bat is just an abundant talent sitting there. Secondly, a kind of intensity and focus that was, you don't teach that stuff, it's just there or it's not.
In typical Ryan Gosling style, he broke hearts again in the hard-to-classify Lars and the Real Girl. Ryan plays Lars, a painfully shy recluse who lives in the family garage and who harbours an ever-evolving love with a sex doll, who he delusionally believes is a real girl. Left in lesser hands, this could have been a one-joke film, but Ryan's performance is a revelation. Ryan was nominated for a Golden Globe and a Screen Actors Guild Award for his sensitive performance. There's a pretty quirky side to him as well. Here are a couple of things about Ryan Gosling that prove he's not your average Hollywood Joe. The man smokes, tags graffiti, and has a predilection for posing with a fist to the camera. He makes dioramas for journos interviewing him and takes public ballet classes. He's famously method without being a textbook method actor. Ryan lived with co-star Michelle Williams and her daughter Matilda for a couple of months before filming the devastating Blue Valentine. Authentically tragic, Michelle Williams has gone on record to say it took her about 2 years to get over the process of making the intense film with Gosling. What Michelle had to say about her co-star when promoting the film speaks for itself.
You know, the movie is a duet between opposing natures, between the past and the present, between a man and a woman, between love and hate, between film and video, between memory and reality. And I don't know duality that exists more inside of a human being than inside of Ryan Gosling.
The release of Blue Valentine began a banner period for Ryan Gosling. For the film Drive, Ryan was offered his choice of directors, a sign of the respect shown to him in Hollywood. He chose Nicholas Winding Refn, the Danish-American director responsible for such films as Bronson. Carey Mulligan recognised how Ryan set the benchmark high from the outset.
He came in with such a definite idea of who that person was and had spent months like pulling cars apart and stunt driving and, you know, doing all that sort of stuff. He set the tone of what the film was, and especially our scenes, which are kind of weird and mostly silent. I kind of bouncing off him was really helpful.
The hyper-stylised and neo-noir film was a success. The eccentric and egoic director, who's often called arrogant by his contemporaries, knew he was onto a good thing with Ryan Gosling. He quickly signed the hottest man of the moment to star in his next Hollywood feature, Only God Forgives. Mixing it up again, he joined the stellar ensemble cast of Crazy Stupid Love, playing the self-obsessed man coach to the pathetic but endearing divorcee, Steve Carell.
He's such a fantastic actor, and what struck me from day one was that he really, I think, is very gifted comedically too. He's really goofy and fun and playful and wants to just enjoy it. And he's not that kind of serious, brooding actor that you might think he is. So I think he's really gifted.
Then a turn opposite heavy hitters Clooney, Seymour Hoffman and Giamatti in the political Ides of March rounded off a period of professional highs for Ryan Gosling. The critics howled with love for the man. And he's been seeing sexy Eva Mendes, which means most outings make it to the tabloids. Yet Ryan seemed to fall short when it came to that classic Hollywood pitfall, being overexposed. Now, I guess the main question left to ask is, can Ryan Gosling actually do something wrong? Because at the moment, it seems the answer is no. He's that guy that makes us other guys look bad, or at least inadequate. He can do the soppy stuff without seeming lame, he can play a tough guy, and he's just always so cool. So he gets the tick from the blokes, he gets the tick from the girls, he's unpredictable, he's sort of un-Hollywood, he's a little bit quirky. And you should have seen Rachel, our producer in the office, scramble over the top of all the other producers to do this star bio. She likes him a lot. Please, stick with Star Picks for all the movies you know and the actors you love. Broadcast in glorious high definition with 5.1 surround sound where available. For more of the best in entertainment news, check out your movie network channels. Find or follow us at Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and mnc.tv.